Welcome to the significations of the 12 houses, that is, places, according to Stephen Forrest by Dr. Anthony Rodriguez of the Nth Dimension. This video was created by Dr. Anthony Rodriguez, better known as Dr. T. The voiceover is by VoicePal. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell. Thank you. Stephen Forrest is a contemporary American astrologer and he is the author of several books on astrology. His work, titled The Inner Sky, presents a seminal view of modern Western astrology. In The Inner Sky, Forrest presents the significations of the 12 houses, that is, places, which he labels fields of activity. Life stages. Forrest calls the first house the house of personality, and says that the corresponding sign is Aries, the associated planet is Mars, and the domain is personal identity. Forrest labels the second house the house of money, and affirms that the corresponding sign is Taurus, the associated planet is Venus, and the domain is money and possessions. Forrest names the third house the house of communications, and asserts that the corresponding sign is Gemini, the associated planet is Mercury, and the domain is information gathering and information sharing. Forrest labels the fourth house the house of home, and affirms that the corresponding sign is Cancer, the associated planet is the moon, and the domain is the home and domestic life. Forrest calls the fifth house the house of children, and says that the corresponding sign is Leo, the associated planet is the sun, and the domain is creativeness and pleasure. Forrest names the sixth house the house of servants, and asserts that the corresponding sign is Virgo, the associated planet is Mercury, and the domain is daily responsibilities. Forrest calls the seventh house the house of marriage, and says that the corresponding sign is Libra, the associated planet is Venus, and the domain is relationships with others. Forrest labels the eighth house the house of death, and affirms that the corresponding sign is Scorpio, the associated planets are Mars and Pluto, and the domain is instinctive behavior. Forrest names the ninth house the house of long journeys over water, and asserts that the corresponding sign is Sagittarius, the associated planet is Jupiter, and the domain is ethics and philosophy. Forrest calls the 10th house the house of career, and says that the corresponding sign is Capricorn, the associated planet is Saturn, and the domain is reputation and position in society. Forrest labels the 11th house the house of friends, and affirms that the corresponding sign is Aquarius, the associated planets are Saturn and Uranus, and the domain is the future and groups. Forrest names the 12th house the house of troubles, and asserts that the corresponding sign is Pisces, the associated planets are Jupiter and Neptune, and the domain is consciousness. The source for this video is Stephen Forrest's The Inner Sky, published by the Seven Paws Press in 2010. To get a free gift, please click on Free Gift on the top right corner of this channel's banner, or click on Free Gift at the beginning of this video's description. But wait, there is more. Important. To further your knowledge about astrology, please click on the video titled The Origins of Astrology, now displayed on this screen.